Well, even though for some people wild orange is calming, I think for the majority of people it is energizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And specifically, like not just energizing, but like happy energy, good vibes.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's citrus oils in general, but wild orange definitely brings that out. When we go to various different like conferences and stuff, they'll put wild orange and peppermint together, and the environment just feels very fresh and uplifting. It's really, really good. We've actually started doing that in our office, is wild orange and peppermint, and I've had quite a few compliments of it just being really nice in there.
Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping open today?
We are popping open a favorite today. We are popping open wild orange.
Yeah, it smells so good. Just having it sit here open on my desk next to me, I've been pleasantly enjoying the scent.
It's very fresh and clean smelling. This one is very versatile. And I think that this is an easy one for a lot of people to love.
Mm-hmm. This is one where just smelling it, I can taste it on my tongue.
Well, I was about to do that next, Meg.
Well, I mean, but I haven't physically tasted it. But it's just such a distinct smell. I mean, it smells like fresh oranges, and my tongue is like, ooh, fresh oranges.
And it tastes like fresh oranges. It's not the juicy part, obviously, that you get, but it is the flavor profile that you get when you taste an orange.
Which is interesting, too, because this oil comes from the skin of the orange, which I would think would be bitter, or the rind, which I would think would be bitter, but
it doesn't have the sweetness to it. So I see what you're saying, but it has a very distinct orange flavoring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really like this one in seltzer water. I feel like it just adds a little bit of crisp citrusness to it. It's also really good in seltzer water with Airx. I don't know if you've had that combination before, but that's really nice too.
Well, I was thinking it's really good with seltzer water and vodka.
That's another option.
But yeah, I mean, I do love Airx and seltzer water, but I don't know that I've done wild orange and Airx. So I'll have to try that.
This one, okay, so can be used all three ways. It has the supplements facts box on the back, so we know we can take it internally. We've already said it's good in drinks. It is definitely good in flavoring for like baking and stuff. I've never used it for cooking things, I guess, but it could definitely be used for that too. I do feel like when we talk about citrus essential oils that I personally really enjoy the citrus flavor. So for baking things, I tend to probably put more drops than I would for, say, making a sauce where I'm putting oregano in it. Oregano is going to be a toothpick oil for me.
Yep.
Wild orange or lemon, I could just kind of put some drops in there until I feel like it tastes good, just because I really like the flavor of it. It's not overpowering when it's in something like that. But you don't need much.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and I feel that way just even with a drink, like in a glass of water. It's fine to have the whole drop, but if I was drinking one of those hardcore hot oils, I also would not want a drop of that either. So,
or even like, I guess cinnamon would be a hot oil too. So yeah. This is one of my kids' favorite oils. Any roller bottles that they've ever created for themselves, wild orange must be in it. So I don't know if we've talked about this a long time ago with lavender, but for some people, lavender is not necessarily calming. And for those people, wild orange tends to be a great addition for them. My daughter is one of those people. She loves lavender, but she's not calmed by lavender. Mm-hmm. She is calmed by wild orange.
It'll be interesting to see if that's her entire life or if that's in childhood only. I know for some people it is their entire life, but I don't think that's everybody. So
speaking of childhood and wild orange, my husband says that when he was growing up, he definitely did not tolerate oranges, because if he ate oranges, he would get like a breakout around his mouth. And so he loved them, but he couldn't eat them. And so for a long time, he stayed away from oranges. And then when we got into oils, he was a little bit nervous to try wild orange, wondering if it was going to have the same effect. But no, he's been able to use wild orange without issue. I don't know if it was something in the actual orange juice part that was irritating him, because if it was in the rind, you'd think that the oil would irritate him too. But he's never had a problem with the oil.
Interesting. Has he had, as an adult, oranges or orange juice or anything?
Yeah, he'll have orange juice every now and then without an issue. So he must have grown out of it, like what you said.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's definitely a food sensitivity, not a food allergy reaction.
Oh, thank you.
And so sensitivities, unless it's protein, and even sometimes with protein, is reversible. So, yeah.
Yay for that, because who wants to miss out on wild orange flavor?
Yeah, exactly. Well, even though for some people wild orange is calming, I think for the majority of people it is energizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And specifically, like, not just energizing, but like happy energy, good vibes.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's citrus oils in general, but wild orange definitely brings that out. When we go to various different like conferences and stuff, they'll put wild orange and peppermint together, and the environment just feels very fresh and uplifting. It's really, really good. We've actually started doing that in our office, is wild orange and peppermint. And we've had quite a few compliments of it just being really nice in there.
I love that. Well, now I know what I'm putting in my diffuser today.
Okay, well, since we're talking about diffusers, my all-time favorite diffuser recipe with wild orange is wild orange and balance. Equal drops of both. It smells like orange creamsicle. It's calming, but yet uplifting. Definitely one of my favorites. And that's honestly how wild orange probably gets used the most in our house, is in the diffuser. If I'm the one putting it in, it's wild orange and balance probably.
Yeah, such a good combo. But I love orange, or really any citrus, but wild orange, eucalyptus, and then mint together as well.
Okay.
So, and lately I've been loving super mint. I think we got super mint for free like a few months ago. And I mean, I was already loving super mint, but now I'm loving it even more because I feel like I've got this abundance of it. So let's just use it constantly.
Yes, I agree. The orange, again, not just peppermint, but any of the mints, that goes well together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all the fir oils, of course, too. Citrus and fir always goes well.
So a few other uses for wild orange. It's good for digestive health. I actually literally just learned that this morning. So that was new for me. But if you've got digestive disruptions, you could try some wild orange if you don't have other options. I did see as well, like wild orange and ginger together are kind of a powerhouse for that. So you could use that. It's good for skin, which was interesting too. So this is going to be a oil that is going to make you photosensitive, your skin photosensitive, meaning more susceptible to burns. So I definitely would not apply this to your skin and then go hang out in the sun. But if you have, minor skin irritations, that type of thing, or you want to do it at night before you go to bed, then it could be really good for your skin as well.
Well, and even the stomach troubles, if you're putting it on under your shirt or something, that's obviously not going to be a big deal, but you wouldn't do that with your bathing suit on and then go lay out in the sun.
Yes. Yeah. Good point. So, and then because it's a citrus oil, it's also amazing for just getting sticky things off. So like the picture frame that you bought at Goodwill that now has the sticky residue left over after you take the price ticket off, use a drop of wild orange or really any citrus oil, and you can get that stickiness off.
And this is one that I add to cleaners too. So I have done before taking orange peels and putting them in the vinegar for a couple of weeks, and then it creates an orange scented vinegar that you can use for cleaning. But with the oil, I don't have to worry about doing all those extra steps. So I'll just combine the wild orange with the vinegar directly into a bottle and use that. But it just gives a little bit of that bright, uplifting scent to whatever you're cleaning to, counters, floors, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also like a window cleaner, just leaves it streak free even more so.
I think this is a good one to have. Everybody in my house enjoys it, and I think that it's a one that is liked by most. So if you don't have wild orange, it's not an expensive oil. So I think that this is an easy one to get if you feel like you're limited on funds initially.
Yeah. And as you can hear, it's super diverse too. So it's a good one to have on hand. All right. Well, we hope that you enjoy Wild Orange as much as we do. And if you enjoyed this podcast, we'd appreciate it if you would actually leave us a review. So we would love reviews from you. That helps other people find our podcast as well. So consider doing that. Thanks so much for listening. We'll have a brand new episode next week.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.